Hi guys, today I'm going to show you how I use R programming language for some quick, easy SEO exports to clean up some SEO exports. The example I'll use today is how I like to just quickly clean up and evaluate a backlink export from SEOMoz, their Open Site Explorer. Our programming language is, really robust and made for statistical computing, big time data analysis, and things like that. So this is barely just the surface of what it can do. But I like to use practical examples of just easy ways. You don't have to do whole big linear models with this. You can also still benefit from this awesome open source software for just doing basic data cleaning. I find it a lot faster than Excel, but it kind of sometimes does scare people since there is code involved. But if you look at the code like Legos and just pretty much find what you need to know, what you need to learn to do, to learn what you need to do, you can definitely benefit from it. So right now I have my data already stored. I'm going to load it into R. So now it's saved in there as backlinks, and you can see all the my data formats will show up here. Then this is my script that I wrote for this. I'm going to highlight and press Control Enter, and it then will copy everything down to the console and load it. And then I'll be going through each of the points. So one of the things is I like to clean up the URLs and target URLs so I can kind of pivot by them, and I can also sort by them, things like that. Because at the end of the day, sometimes I just want to see the single domains and not all the links on a domain. Uh, so now I'm going to clean those up with this regex format and replace it with nothing. And now I'm going to also, the titles of the report are kind of lengthy and have lots of lowercase, uppercase, and lots of dots in there. So when I like to do my data analysis, I like to make sure everything's uniform. So I'm going to clean that up. And that's what this all does. And now you can see it's a lot cleaner, at least, and easier to work with. And now the next thing I want to do is find the ranges of the domain authority and page authorities, and see if I can notice anything by the groups of the ranges. So are they all high domain authority with low page authority, or all high pages on low domains, and vice versa? Load those in, and then I'm also going to add them to my CSV. And then also to be able to view, I just made a bunch of tables of them. So I can load those in and quickly look. DA factor table. So it broke it all into domain authorities by tens and sorted them. So the one client I pulled for, has most of the links between 30 and 60, which is pretty average in the middle. And let's see how their page authority factor table looks. All right, so they're more on the lower end side from 10 to 40. And then the other thing that I can do right here is also load up some quick graphs because I just want to see what's going on and evaluate before I really dig in. I just downloaded this export and I just want to see what's going on before I open Excel and start running some additional tests. So the first chart I'm going to look at is just a bar graph of the clean targets. So the domains of the different links it's going to. For instance, the links that my clients have to, domain.com to blog.domain.com, things like that. So we load this in. And then I also filled it by follow links, yes or no, to try to see, if there's anything I can pick out real quick. I can also zoom into this. So let me just bring this into the shot. And also these can be completely customized, colors, the background, all the formatting. I'm just, like I said, for this, I'm just quickly getting a glance on how the backlinks look and just if there's anything that stands out to me to dig deeper before I open up in Excel and before I get the competitors and really start cross-referencing everything. The one thing I just noticed real quick was the form has lots of no-filed links. Um, and there's different conclusions you can take from that, but just something that I'll keep in mind. Same thing with, obviously the most of them are for the domain.com, but and I can save this into any file for any like large file format, things like this. It's a PDF, so it can get bigger, smaller, all of that good stuff. And then also, my next one I usually go to is a scatter plot of the links to try to see if there's any like where the majority of them are, and it makes sense that most of them, all the domain authority and page authority kind of correlates. But the one thing I'm missing out on is links being tacked on top of each other. I can't really see a big spread, so I'm going to add some jitter to this now. And add just a little bit of movement in between so I can kind of see now how everything's clustered. And nothing real crazy, but I do notice that there is a lot of, the no file links down here, and then as they spread out, there's obviously a lot on top, and that could be Wikipedia links, things like that that I'm expecting. I'm just looking for anything that stands out of the ordinary. And then this right now is colored by the different subdomains and domain. Not much to really get from because domain.com pretty much took it all over. But if there's anything weird out of the ordinary, it'd be a good way to kind of notice it. My other favorite thing to look at is histograms because I think distribution's a big part in backlink analysis. So I like to load in just basic histograms and see where most of the links are. That's why I built the buckets. And then I can also see, did not load that in properly. I can see the histogram, but split by followed and non-followed links. See where most of the non-followed are, and it looks like most of the non-followed links are around the 40 range, 40 domain authority. And then I can see also right here. So this is the histogram to kind of show you the different properties, the different subdomains, as I've went over before. And then the last three, I'll just load these quicker. Shows density plots, and you can kind of mess with how dense you want it to be and what you're trying to look for, depending if you want steep angles or just more of the overall picture. And the same thing, this is the density compared to followed and no follow links. And then this one is the density compared to all the different subdomains. So I was able just to kind of look in and make sure that I know what I'm looking for when I go look at the competitors and see if I find anything out of the ordinary. Now I can open in Excel and it's already formatted for me that a lot better than how I like it. You could do all this stuff in Excel also, all the data cleaning and data munging, but I find it easier and faster in R because it's a lot more powerful. It doesn't really have a graphical user interface to slow it down. And to me, R is easier to write than VBA for automating this stuff. So that's why I like to use R. Hopefully you guys got something out of this. It's normally this process kind of takes me like a minute or two just to skim through it. You could turn these into functions and just kind of crank these out for every backlink report you export. But hopefully this can help you or just show you a couple cool things you can do with R while not getting intimidated by its real powerful uses. The way I like to look at this is, using Photoshop for just touching up fun pictures or creating things. Obviously, it's made for professional photographers, but I still like to use it and get to mess with it. Same thing with R. And in the future, I will be doing a bunch more posts on how I use R and linear models for competitive analysis and forecasting and predictive analytics, things like that. All right, thanks. And I guess I'll show you also what this looks like in Excel. Hold on. So I exported it into Excel, and this is what it looks like. It has all the titles that I already changed, and the things I like is it already cleaned up the clean URL, and this is um, all the URLs that were linking to my client, and then the target, all the ones coming from it. It added in the DA and PA ranges, so I could sort by them or group by these for any future kind of analysis or digging in. I mean, imagine if I did this, without talking about it, I could load all this in under a minute. I could also make a loop so it goes through, 20 different uh, 20 different backlink exports to clean it all up, and then save it all as CSVs, and then I could open them and do whatever I want with it. All right. Hopefully this helped a little bit, and let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. Thanks. Bye.